You're listening to 90.8 Hills FM Radio.
This is 90.8 Hills FM radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 90.8 Hills FM. This is your RJ Gugu Haralu, and we have a wonderful live launching today with our very own president of the Faith Ministry, who initiated this community radio as part of their initiative. And it is here that we would like to take this launch a little further in understanding the journey. And we are very happy to launch this with the story behind what it took, how it took, and why it shaped today's reality into a radio station. And to have us to tell us why, how, what, we have our very own initiative with his team. But on behalf of the society, we would like to welcome S. Hukaviz Jimomi, the president of the Faith Ministry. Welcome, sir, to our show, to your very own show. And we hope that we will be able to hear more from you. Why and how and what is the objective of this Mission Community Radio in Dimapur district here in Nagaland? Welcome, sir.
Thank you for your time, and thanks to our MD and our RG for giving me a privilege to be in your live studio. Well, it's a long story that how we have taken on troubles and all to bring this dream to a reality. In fact, we all know that in our Nagaland, we have All India Radio.
Yes.
That is owned by the government only.
Yes.
And there's no private people who are running the community radio. So we have come to know that how much important is community radio to uplift our community. Therefore, we have conceived the idea, and then we have come together to pursue this FM radio. It has taken us 11 to 12 years to bring to alive. So this is what I feel that we cannot, narrate the whole story, what in course of 11, 12 years that we have taken trouble to get a license. In fact, it was a long journey where we have to get certificate from many departments in our state, as well as in the government of India under the Ministry of Broadcasting and Information. So by God's grace, we could have brought it all this with the support of all the government officials who matters to issue the respective certificate to us.
I would like to actually emphasize, and I'm sure our listeners would be very interested to know, this 12 years. You know, that's something that I got attracted to personally. As you've rightly said, it's a journey where it has also shaped your team, and also realizing way back before the thought of the community radio, because of the kind of work the society has been doing in the grassroots. And this has materialized into more in an expanded form. So may I ask you, how has it also changed you as a person as you continue to pursue, and as you have rightly said, 11 to 12 years, and that's a very long journey to get the license. What has kept your hope up to pursue this?
Well, since this is an NGO project,
Yes.
and once any genuine NGO take up any program, they never fail. And as we NGO, the Fed Ministry, we also we have a very good team, so dedicated and very sincere, who are working in our Fed Ministry Society. So with that endeavor, with that effort, that we could have brought it. In fact, there was many problem, many hiccups here and there, but we have not lose our mind, our heart, and we have continuously proceed, and then at last we have got it. And in fact, this our NGO, while doing our activities, we feel that Dimapur is a cosmopolitan town, and where the Nagas, we have 58 tribes here. No matter we have 14 tribes recognized within the Nagas of Nagaland, but apart from that, we have other Nagas from Manipur, Arunachal, across our country, Burma, and elsewhere in Assam. So that is one factor that what we feel that they are now with us here in our cosmopolitan town, forgetting about their culture, their tradition, their custom. So in order to promote them, to keep their own respective culture, tradition, and custom, I think this through community radio, only we can preserve all this asset. So we have worked on that line, and apart from that, we have non-local here. Dimapur is basically non-local area only. Comparatively, I think one fourth Nagas are here. There is, are all non-local, and they are from all states, from every state, but they are here with us, and then they are living with us. And as I've said, they also from far long place they have come, and then they are also forgetting their own tradition, custom, and all like that. So in order to give them a platform also, and then to preserve their own identity, their culture, their custom, and so on, that we have decided to bring this community radio, since the whole lot of the people in this 21st century, people are depending on media only.
Yes.
The media is the only weapon which can bring the people together, which can educate the mass of people, and then media plays a vital role in all aspects. So our NGO, we have come across many difficulties working with the people here and there, but to assemble the entire people together, it was a very, very difficult job. Since, as I've said, having different tribe here and there, having different castes and all like that, etc., etc. So it was very difficult. So we have realized that until and unless there is a media where we can bring all the people under one umbrella, and then through that to build good interaction among the community, and then bring the peace corridor, bring the economic corridor, and so on. so that we can prosper and so that we can compete with the other state or other countries. So this is what our NGO feel. This media is very, very important in this 21st century, since we all know that in the 21st century, high-tech technology
Yes.
have taken over everything. Now, simply sitting at home, we get everything. It's only because of high-tech technology. Earlier, to travel in a distance and all, but through mobile we can contact each other across the globe. We get whatever through online and all like that. So we cannot deny the fact that this century is, well equipped with advanced technology, and for outdated people, it has become so problem to cope with the fastest, development of the civilization, and to educate the masses of people in many aspects. As an NGO, we feel very difficult to bring them together. So at last, we decided to bring this FM, and then today we have this in our community, and as well as this when we concern about Dimapur. Here, we need to do a lot, and we have done a lot. We have our, orphanage home at Ganesh Nagar, running by our Faith Ministry Society, as well as, a Faith International Biblical Institution. Of course, that we have stopped for some time now, but through that, we could have brought in many leaders. Today they are a pastor, reverend, and all. We could have given them a training, and then post graduation, and then graduation, totaling 149 people. We could have trained them, and then today they are the pastor, reverend, and all like that. So NGO, we are working day and night, at least something that we are also trying to contribute.
Yes.
We cannot do everything, but whatever we can. Our society is for the people, and we are doing our job. And then I think that the young people in this generation, they will also come forward and take this platform with their talent, and then they can also promote themselves in the society who they are and all, be in a business, be in a social life, and then by singing or whatever they're specialized, they can come and occupy the platform, and they can exhibit themselves to other people, and so on, whomever they come here, the resource people, they can share the views to other people also, and let other people knows. And I'm sure that there'll be many people having the different talent in their own discipline.
Correct.
So they can also, exchange their talent one to another. And so that while doing all this, I'm sure that our Dimapur will also come up. But until and unless, the people, they do not know each other and all like that, it will be very difficult to, compete with the other district or other state and all. So these are the modus operandi that what our NGO had, and then by God grace we are doing well. We are hoping that we will launch on another program also, not only this FM station.
Yes.
Now we have, orphanage home. So we will continuously look forward to bringing another project also, and then try to promote our community. And as far as community radio is concerned, the word community, that itself, it is for the people, for the community radio station. So I need not to explain, this is for the community only, exclusively for
Yes.
community. So I think people should also understand it is for them only. So this is what I want to share my mind with you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. This actually brings me to think as an NGO, because a lot of times people also have a certain confusion. How would now a community radio, which is for the community, survive? Because, as rightly said in today's inauguration, that it is not supported financially by any agency, whether it's government or any other private sector, and plus it's a private in itself, but it is serving the community as a non-profit organization initiative. Could you please share with us, how do we invite and welcome people to participate and also support this humble initiative that has been launched today, to sustain and also take it forward?
Well, since it's a very new development, it's a very new department, and of course, what you're saying, that without any support and all, it may collapse in future and all like that. Something like that apprehension people may have,
Yes.
but as far as NGO is concerned, there are many schemes funded by the government of India.
Oh, wonderful.
NGO is such, that our nation have taken in a way that it's a semi-government
All right.
next to the government. So, the genuine NGOs, nobody can stop them. And then for them to, there'll be lots of scheme to support.
An initiative like this.
Like FM radio, to the extent of FCRA provision is also there to get donation from abroad also. And then government of India, they are taking keen interest on community radio station in our country. And then there are loads of provision has been created for the CRS, community radio station, to avail the subsidy, to avail the donation. So we have just started only. We'll look forward to tap in some donation or subsidy, whatever. And we have some policy
Okay.
that in due course of time we will upgrade this FM radio station. Today is not that much, that we expect. We have a long vision,
Yes.
and where we can employ to the extent of 200 people also.
Wow, that's huge.
But as of now, it's just a startup only,
Yes.
and then it's in a trial basis, and then I think by our NGO, see, we have not got even a coin from the government of India or the state government, but still then, from 2002 to 22, we're surviving. And then, there are many people, among us, we donate whatever we do. We just discuss among ourselves what to do. And then I think our NGO is a very strong enough, and then day by day we are strengthening each other. And then I think now, since we have come across many programs here and there like that, so I think we'll prosper very easily, no matter we get fund or not. See, like community radio, government have authorized us to have 7 minutes for advertisement
Okay.
every
7 minutes
every hour.
every hour. Okay.
So with that also, I think it can sustain.
So that's the revenue generating
yeah.
airtime that we're looking
Yeah.
at. Okay.
To manage the community radio
Okay.
throughout the country.
All right.
The government of India have set aside 7 minutes after every hour to take up that advertisement, and with that, fund generating, this FM can easily sustain. It's very new thing now,
Yes,
but
it is.
I know that everybody, to the extent of advertising in the newspaper, here and there, like that, when we see all our people's activities, I think they'll be more comfortable to put on their advertisement in the radio, since in a paper hardly people see, and then some people, they can't understand English also, they can't read also,
Yes.
and all like that. But through radio, it's a different field. Straight away in all language, direct to the listeners. It can pass over the message directly without looking at the paper and all like that. People can easily understand through radio. So I think radio can play a vital role better than the other media. So we're keeping our hope alive, and I think for sustaining this community radio station will not be a problem. And as I've mentioned, we'll look forward for many funds which are in the government of India program to facilitate the fund to the community radio station, and it's part and parcel of giving us service to the people as the government is doing. We are also part and parcel of that. We are also in the service of the people. So I think this government is also taking keen interest to promote all the CRS in India, and priority has been given to the Northeast, especially this our Modi government, and then they're focusing on the Northeast to set up more and more community radio station.
Because honestly speaking, I have also attended a couple of CRS workshops here in Nagaland, done by the Ministry of, for the Information and Broadcasting. And some of the issues that had emerged was by the Northeastern applicants when they wanted to apply for the community radio. And the responses was because of many technical and also the difficulties that the Northeastern region faces in getting or availing such a license. And that is why today it is very important for us, especially our listeners, to understand and know that things are changing. Things are changing on the perspective of how Northeast can actually play a vital role in nation building. And community radio is one medium among many other mediums to reach out to people, especially the mass. And also, as I listen to you, this being the first community radio station in Dimapur, it plays a very vital role in reaching out, engaging, communicating, and also building understanding. So my question to you is, with so many NGOs in Nagaland, and especially many more so based in Dimapur, what would be your message for the NGOs in connection to the community radio?
Well, to pursue this community radio license, it's not a big deal now, what I feel.
Okay.
At first, we're not knowing anything, how to start, how to end. And that has taken lots of time for us.
To process the file.
Here, as far as a community radio station is concerned, they cannot give it to anyone. It is directly under the control of the Broadcasting and Information Ministry of India. So here there are certain rules which is mandatory for the community radio station holder to abide with the certain late rules.
Correct.
And then the license has to be signed by the President of India at last. Joint agreement. That is what they call it, GOPA. And then the Fed Ministry and the President of India have signed together. So, the license going up to the from the bottom to the top, it's very long journey to reach the highest constitutional head of the country,
Correct.
the president. So, here needs lots of, certification from respective department, like from the deputy commissioner, like from the police, like from the IB, they call it, Intelligence Bureau, SIB, State Intelligence Branch, and so on. So, and then we have to prepare the project. There's a certain guideline being given by the government of India how to make the project. So after making the project, it has to be supported by all documents which are being specified in the format. We have to take certification from various departments, as I've mentioned. So if we can, collect all the documents, and there are some department will come and see physically also whether the NGO exists or not.
And its activities and documentations.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, if we can do all these things, I think it's not a big deal also.
If your papers are right and kept
Yeah.
in order.
And there was some restriction.
Okay.
We were aware of that, as insurgency area.
Yes.
This,
That's true.
area.
That's true.
So for radio to, it becomes a problem for the security measure of the country.
Correct.
So they don't allow any people. And then, so far to my knowledge goes, community radio, that license are being given to NGO only. And then, like university. And then only that. They don't allow to any group or a society like that. And then it is mean for NGO and then the university only. What I have come across it. So anybody has NGO, they can just download the website how to apply elections. And any NGO, if they feel opening, we're here to help them also. Since our FM radio station, Fed Ministry radio station, how far we have a certain limitation for us also. We cannot cover up the whole issues.
Yes.
So we'll be subjected to limitation for some program only. So if other NGO also can come forward, they can take up some program like that. And then if we have many community radio station, I'm sure that we can also promote our community and then march forward with other district or the state or the country. And now see what it has come now. It is a latest development
Okay.
that they call it a radio garden.
Oh.
And then that radio garden, that is, the headquarters is in Arms Stadium.
Okay.
And then these people, this company, they have, taken up many radio stations across the world.
All right.
And then, it has globalized, like whatever we telecast here, that can be heard in London or in America, New York, China, Japan, Russia, anywhere else like that. So the world is developing very fast. And then Radio Garden, I can give you that also if you want it.
Yes, please.
I used to hear sometimes, hearing Washington's.
So we can download.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Obviously, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, elsewhere, any part of the country, they have their own radio station, and if we're wanting to hear, we can hear from that also.
Oh.
So in Northeast, I think two radio station is now in that. Now what I know, Guwahati,
Okay.
they call it Gap Shop.
Gupshup. Mm.
I think that is the famous FM radio station in the Northeast. I visited there also personally.
Oh.
MD was so kind and all like that, and then have given me time to interact with them, how they're running and all.
Okay.
They say that their programs are all been, covered by Radio Garden and across the world.
So it's a global radio station.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do not know by latest technology how they are fitting that tower and all and letting the people to listen all over. And this, as far as a Gap Shop radio station in Guwahati,
Yes.
they're covering, only Asme dialect,
Okay.
90%. And 10% hardly they're, covering up some. But they're very rich. And, what they told us, for us, we can't cover up the Assamese also. We hardly have time to spare for others, to cover up some program.
That means it's so vast.
So was. And they told me that the people, Assamese people sitting in New York, London and all, they are very fascinated with the news what they are relaying from Guwahati
Wow.
across the world like that, those Assamese people. So they are happy and all like that. So sooner or later, we can be in line with that.
Oh, this is going to be very beautiful. It's so good to know that this actually has such a wide spectrum, to reach out to people. And it's not just confined to the local, but it is in terms of globalizing the whole idea in reaching out to different communities and bringing people together. This brings me to this thought that being the first community radio station in Dimapur, what has kept you excited apart being part of this organization, Faith Ministry, who has been doing quite a lot of its own grassroots activities, including the children's shelter home? What has really ignited in your heart as a person? And I think this is where I would like to really want our listeners to know you as a person. Who is, Mr. Hukavi? So can you please introduce yourself a little bit and perhaps go a little deeper more, because we still have time. So you mind sharing that little introduction of yourself, sir?
Well, I'm just a simple Hukavi Jumumi.
Okay.
In fact, I have my past experience working in all the, civil society, and then clubs, students' union, and all. I think I have rendered my service in all the field. As a contractors union also, once upon a time, a president, and then town committee chairman, Siniboto, business union committee president, Siniboto. I think to me, whatever I can, I also have done all this. And then I have contested for the 7th time.
Okay.
It's all about election. My first election was area council member.
Okay.
That earlier, it is no more now. It has been abolished by the government of Nagaland.
Okay.
Earlier we had area council member.
Okay.
So that I was ACM. I've been elected by my village as ACM. So I rose up from there only. And then after that, Zinemoto town been my own constituency. I'm been brought up from Zinemoto town only.
Okay.
So I have contested twice in a town committee, and where I was meta chairman also. And then after that, people wants me to be in the general election.
Okay.
So I have contested 4 times in the general election. I have won 2, I have lost 2.
Part of the game.
Yeah. So, my election I have contested for 7 times.
Okay.
And it's all 5 terms,
Yes.
5 years term,
Yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
So like that, I'm happy with what I have been living. and then it's by God grace. I was, national member of Khadim Village Industry, Government of India, national member.
Okay.
And then secondly, a national member under urban development. We call it UPA, Housing Urban Poverty Elevation.
Okay.
There I was made for 7 years as a member, national member. And, in one way, this, as a social worker and as a businessman, as a politician, I have come across it by involving myself in a business also, in a social activities also, and then in a politics also. So, but in this context, I'm really sorry to say, but the people of our Naga people, they hardly listen to the real people, the genuine people. Those are talking in line with how to go about and then how to reform the society and all like that. Hardly people listen. And then, those people who say something very accelerating, just like narrating the fairy tales and all like that, people, listen to that only.
But do you not think that the effort of the community radio through this venture is basically, the objective is very clear, that is to educate and advocate, so that every individual as a citizen knows their right, have basic information, and information actually carries substance, and not just an empty vessel, but really learn to take action on the information that they gather as informed citizen, which is something that we are lacking at this point of time. And the community radio is actually using this medium to reach out to as much as many people, provided they tune in, right, sir? So you as an individual also speaks a lot as a concerned leader and someone who has been part of the social change from the grassroots. It's important even for our listeners to understand that, because I'm sure a lot of people, social media has been filled with more negativity than positivity. But there's also an argument and debate about how can you think about positiveness if all we can see is negative action. And there's also another narrative that is going around where elders are showing the wrong way, and that's how the younger generation are also following. So according to you as an elder, as a leader, as someone who is experienced, and I'm not talking about everyone, no one is perfect, but we do believe that everyone is also trying to make an effort to be excellent in what they're gifted and they're called to do. So my question to you is political education important for the mass? And if so, how do we go about it? If we want to bring any change, and as the motto rightly said for 90.8 Hills FM, the voice of change. So the voice of change also speaks about very harsh truths, uncomfortable conversations, but it is spoken with love because we care. And it is not the intention to break someone's spirit, but it is with the intention to address the cracks that is there in the society. And how do we contribute to mend those cracks in the right way, in the right spirit, as people and as citizens of this community? So, sir, I would really like to urge you to please speak in the line of being the voice of change in today's first launching of the live show of the 90.8 Hills FM. And as someone who has been the founder and is the founder of this initiative, keeping aside your political association with a particular group, but I think this is very important as a person, as I would like to repeat myself, as a leader, as an elder, as a community member, as a citizen of the state, and as someone who has a vision to bring a change. Is political education necessary? And if so, in brief, how do you think we can proceed?
Well, as a senior citizen, I'm now, on to 61, and then now I'm a senior citizen. Out of my own experience, and then, as you have rightly questioned, that voice of change, what community radio today, what
Stands for,
stand for. Yeah. So here, see the change, that too, change cannot be done in a day or two.
Correct.
And then, that change, to bring in change, that the government of the day also, they should redress their policy, which is not good for the people. And on the other side of the coin, the people should also come forward to elect the right people for the right job. But, we are lagging behind. And then, it's all been mixed up. We do not know whom to blame. But to me, I take it very simple. I think we have to blame the generation. That is what I feel it. And then everything...
Which generation, sir?
Everything is in the hands of God. I'm talking about the generation that what I have quoted is this 21st century people.
Okay.
Why? Because 19th century, I think more or less people were very innocent. And people, they hardly lie. And they respect each other. And then, everything was in a system. But in this 21st century, it's not that we are trying to undermine them or antagonizing them and all, but now the systems are not to be seen. Everywhere, the children also, they do whatever they like it. They don't worry about the father, mother's advice also, and then that is all because of education, because of having high knowledge and all like that. We cannot stop them also. They are in one way far better than the parents at this context. But whatever, I think there should be a system also. But our Naga people, we have forgotten our rich heritage, our rich value in all aspect, and then just trying to westernize in all aspect, and then looking for a lucrative things only, and all without doing anything. They expect something great. The government of the day, no one can do miracle for everyone. That the most, to be very honest, the government is here to bring the scheme to protect law and order, and then to, educate the people and all like that. And government also, they're doing their best, but, on the other side, our people also, they should come to know.
Yes.
But here, what we feel it. That our people, we do not know why they have to talk about leaders only. Not these leaders are not good. Leaders are not good. Leaders are not good. Always.
Yes.
But they themselves, they are electing their leaders. It's not that someone is becoming a leader by itself.
Yes.
We are living in a democracy, and in a democracy, the people elect their leader. So the blame has to be owned by people also, not the
Not just
the
one side,
people
yes,
are
both.
in many story inside, which we cannot explain
True.
in detail.
Correct.
But this, if we realize that we are in a democracy and then the power is vested in the hands of the people, if we go by that only, then I think everything will come in order, and then to bring a change is very easy. It's in the hands of the people only.
Correct.
But when the people, by this or by other problem, if they have to succumb with, privilege, someone offer them and all, they vote for them. Or the clanism, he's my uncle, he's my brother, my sister. If they go in that line, he's our tribe, we'll have to give him, no matter what is it. Yeah. As long as, these things takes place in our Nagaland, nothing doing. And then democracy, as far as democracy is concerned, this is the best government among the government. We have dictatorship form of government, we have hereditary form of government, parliamentary form of government, and democracy. I think democracy is one of the best government, which we say that, it's a people's government.
Yes.
Government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So the definition of democracy that people should understand, instead of saying the government is bad, or Mr. A is bad, C is bad. Very simple.
So, which means that we're talking about taking responsibility and being accountable. And this requires from both sides, as an intending representative of the people and as people supporting that representation. So, I think this is going to be a very important topic in days to come. So, because political education, without it, we will not be able to make the right decision. And this, in fact, has its own consequences. And today we're seeing the mess in our political lives. Now, the question, I'm sure the listeners would be thinking that how is this political education part of this whole discussion? But it is part of the community radio, where we need to educate and also advocate what is right for the people to make decisions. And to make decisions means you need to have the right information. And that goes for every individual, including the person who's intending to be the leader and also being a representative. So, sir, it's just so overwhelming because in just this hour session, we really cannot touch upon, as you rightly said, there's so many things to reveal in terms of to let the people know. But I do believe that our listeners would get an opportunity to listen from you and perhaps bring in more senior citizens, to bring in their experiences, whether it's good or bad, but that's part of the journey, because that's where the younger generation perhaps will learn not to repeat those mistakes. And we would also be interested to learn the areas where the elders have also failed to address, and that can help us as a yardstick to lead a better life, because the legacy our elders would leave behind is a forward baton by the next generation. And we do believe that this conversation has helped our listeners today to understand what is a community radio, its purpose, its objective, and it will keep expanding. And it would also require both sides, as a listener and as a giver from this side, to sustain and also to thrive together as a community listener. And the art of listening is something that we need to revive and inculcate now among ourselves, because there's so many medium to communicate, but we don't seem to be listening to each other. And perhaps that is also one of the reasons that we are creating gaps among ourselves in our relationship building, trust building, and also as people of the state. So thank you so much, Sir Hukavi, for this time, for being with us, for sitting here with us, and also sharing your experiences, at least a bit and a glimpse of what the society is doing, because the Faith Ministry has come this far. And we also wish you the best, that things would continue to manifest in the desire and the conviction that the team has for the people. We wish the Faith Ministry our best wishes, and we hope that through this community radio 90.8 Hills FM, our community listeners also is enlarged, and the voice of change is reached out to every individual and is making a difference. So thank you so much, sir, for being with us.
Welcome.
And it is here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening in. And I hope that you will have us coming in, and you would also invite yourself to our studio very soon. We're signing off. This is your RJ Gugu Haralu. A very good evening, ladies. Bye.
You're listening to 90.8 Hills FM Radio.
This is 90.8 Hills FM radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.